This is the HAIX Airpower boot, and I'm going to show you guys how to polish this boot. If you guys want to go ahead and pause the video right here, this is all you're going to need in order to polish the boot. First steps I'm going to do, I'm going to untie the boot here. I'm going to do a deep cleaning here. You don't have to do this every time. This is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to get all the laces off. And I'm going to show you guys where all the dirt is and all the dust that we're going to brush off the boot. Alright, next thing we're going to do is we're going to get a stiff brush here. Now what we're going to do is just brush out all the dirt and dust within the cracks throughout the leather of the boot. We're also going to hit the toe box with the brush, and when you do this you're going to go ahead and get rid of some of those scuffs on the toe box, make it easier when applying the polish. So as we're brushing throughout the boot here, on the zipper, you're going to want to go ahead and zip up the zipper. There's going to be dirt and dust underneath the zipper. Just go ahead and zip it up and brush that out. Now that we have finished brushing out the boot, we're going to go ahead and get this active polish. It's from HAIX. You can get it on their website, $10. And what we're going to do with this is we're going to apply this to the leather of the boot. And what this is going to do is it's going to restore the leather, make it look darker, get rid of some creases, and just restore it to what it was looking like when you got it right out the box. So I have another brush here that I'm just going to go ahead and buff out all the polish on throughout the boot. We're going to get one of the cracks, we're going to get the zippers, behind the zippers, on the tongue of the boot, and we're just going to buff out all of this polish in. You're going to want to continue buffing in the polish until the polish doesn't look wet on the boot anymore, and you'll definitely see the difference. So right now it's kind of wet still, and you're just going to want to go over it until it looks dry. As you're going throughout the boot, you can hit the midsole of the boot as well, just to darken the midsole. After I do the HAIX polish, I'm going to get some kiwi here. I'm going to do the same application. I'm going to apply the kiwi here to the leather of the boot only. What this is going to do is just going to darken the leather, fill out those creases as well. It's just going to add another protective layer to the leather and make it darker. Now after that, I'm going to get a rag here, and all I'm going to do is buff out that kiwi that I put on there. And what this is going to do is just going to kind of shine up the leather a little bit more, also buff in that kiwi. Alright, well here's the finished product of the leather. We polished the one on the left and polished the one on the right. As you can see, there is a big difference between the two. Now that we're all done with the leather, we're going to move on to the toe box. In order to do the toe box, we're going to get our Lincoln black polish here, and what we're going to do is we're going to just apply a coat onto the toe box, Depending on your scuffs, you can apply a lot of Lincoln lathered on there, or just apply just a little. So after I kind of apply the Lincoln, I get a separate towel here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of just buff in that Lincoln onto the scuffs and just throughout the toe box, just to kind of push in the Lincoln a little bit more into that toe box. And I'm going to apply another coat on there as well. So now what I'm doing here is I just have my other rag here, and I'm just going to kind of press in the Lincoln that I applied here. What this is just going to do is just going to really push in that Lincoln into those scuffs. There's little chips of Lincoln on there that you want to just go and press those down. And I'm not pressing too hard at all, just pretty lightly. After we put this Lincoln on, we're going to let it sit for 15 minutes. After the Lincoln has sit, we're going to get our heat gun, and we're going to go ahead and start melting the Lincoln onto the toe box. When melting the Lincoln onto the toe box, there's going to be little droplets of Lincoln. All you're going to do is want to blow those to the side of the toe box just to create a nice layer over the toe box. You don't want the droplets of Lincoln to clump together on the toe box. It's not going to create a smooth layer. After you have got it where you want it, you're going to want to let it sit for 10 minutes. This is really key later on. So let it sit, and then I'll show you guys what to do next. I'm going to get kiwi, water, and cotton balls. What I'm going to do is I'm going to dab the cotton ball into the water, and then I'm going to kind of squeeze out some of the water. You don't want the cotton ball to be very wet, pretty damp. And then what you're going to do is you're going to put 2 little twists of the cotton ball into the kiwi and get very little kiwi on that cotton ball. You don't want a lot of kiwi, as you can see, not a lot. And then we're going to apply that kiwi onto the toe box, and we're going to do firm circles around the toe box until we get the haze of that kiwi out, and until you see that nice mirror glossy effect on the toe box. So now you don't have to do this process every single time for your boots. After a day of use, you can easily go back over the toe box with a lighter to remelt the Lincoln onto the toe box, and what it would do is just remelt those scuffs and have that Lincoln cover those scuffs up as you're remelting it with the lighter. And then you can just do the same process, let it sit for, since the lighter and it didn't get too hot, you can let it sit for maybe like 5 minutes, and then go back over it with the kiwi and water. Alright guys, that's going to conclude the tutorial for cleaning your HAIX Airpower boot and also creating a nice mirror effect on the toe box. I'm going to put a link in the description on all the items I use, as well as how to retie your Airpower boots. Thanks for watching.